Hello, everyone, and thank you all for joining us. Today's webinar is How to Implement an Easy to Flow Purge Program and Stop Wasting Money, and is presented by Asahi Kasei Asa Clean Americas. Your presenter today is Chris Melchior. Chris Melchior is a business development manager with Asa Clean Purging Compounds. Chris has specialized expertise in chemical purging compounds and concrete grades. Before joining OsaClean in 2015, Chris worked for 16 years for Novachem. My name is Carly Sheeter with UL, and I'll be moderating today's webinar. Please send us your questions by typing them in the question tab located on your screen. Our panelists will answer them at the end of the presentation. We are also recording today's event, and we will be sending you a link by email when it has been posted to ulprospector.com. Now I'd like to turn the presentation over to Chris. Would you like to begin?
Thank you, Carly. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for taking time out of their busy day to attend this webinar today. Hopefully in the next 35 or 40 minutes, we could shed a little clarity on what we do and how to do things and how to help you folks on the production floor. Having said that, let's get started. First of all, a little bit about us. Asahi Kasei is a global conglomerate operating in key markets such as materials, home, and healthcare. Our headquarters are in Japan. Our corporate headquarters are located in Parsippany, New Jersey. We've got 20 billion in revenue, 37,000 employees globally, and we've got some pretty smart people on our team. As a matter of fact, one of our scientists actually invented the lithium-ion battery, had received the Nobel Peace Prize for that effort. And basically, you got some pretty smart people working for you. We're dedicated to help you in any way, shape, or form that we can. And we're a worldwide leader in commercial purge compounds, and we have customers in over 70 countries. What our goals today are, we're going to basically explain the basics of purge compound. We're going to show you 6 different specific processing challenges that we could help with. And we're going to set realistic expectations on how to get that to happen. Okay, Purging 101. First of all, what are purge compounds? Purge compounds are products formulated to clean injection molding machines, extruders, and blow molding equipment. They typically contain a base resin and other additives optimized to clean your screw and barrel, extruder, and die thoroughly and quickly. Purge compounds are used by processors across the industries to reduce scrap and downtime. Basically, purge compounds are going to give you a competitive edge. We're going to improve your safety, increase machine capacity, lower maintenance cost, and so forth. Most companies that use purge compounds see the benefits almost immediately. When we're talking about purge compounds, we have to touch base on a few different topics. Obviously, we have to know what your process is. Injection, extrusion, blow molding, what type of resins that you're running. What are we trying to do on this purge? Are we cleaning the die? Is it downstream equipment that's the problem? Are we talking about screw pulls? And then we're going to get into the types of purge compounds that could be effective in your specific situation. As you see there are 3 that we offer. We offer mechanical type purge compounds, chemical purge compounds, and a concentrate that you can mix with any carrier resin or the majority of resins that are out there. There are a couple of exceptions. We'll first talk about mechanical purge compound. Mechanical purge compounds are really easy to use, number one. You're basically running the product through the machine at a high velocity in effort to clean the machine. There's no soak time involved. Let the machine's power do the work. And typically 2 to 3 system volumes of a mechanical purge will get the job done. If you were to use round numbers in case of an injection molder, if your machine holds, your screw and barrel holds 16 ounces, you'll typically go between 2 and 3 pounds of a mechanical purge to get the job done. Chemical purge compound, little different animal. This is really, really good in extrusion applications, and the reason for that is because it expands. It gets into the negative flow areas very, very effectively, and a little bit more effectively than a mechanical purge can. It's great for hot runner applications as well, and it gets into the negative flow areas and dead spots, as I mentioned, very, very effectively. Typical soak times, they can range depending on the situation that we're working on. I've used chemical purge compounds almost mechanically, just running the product through the machine to get the job done. We've had very short soak cycles from 5 minutes up to 30 minutes. And those longer soak cycles typically take place in really hard to clean equipment like extrusion blow. Concentrates. This is a very unique product that, to my knowledge, none of our competitors have. As I mentioned, you can mix our concentrate with pretty much any resin that you're processing, with a couple of exceptions. Typically, our mix ratios to start are 20% concentrate to 80% carrier resin, which makes the product extremely cost effective and works identically to that as our ready mix chemical purge does. When we're talking about injection molding, typical areas of hang up are the screw and barrel, the nozzle, the check ring, and troublesome hot runners or hot manifolds. Essentially, we normally put the heat where the problem is. So in the case of injection molding and a hot runner, screw and barrels can mostly stay at operating temperature, and we need to heat up the manifold. That's on a case-by-case basis, determine what you're trying to do and how you're trying to process. But the reason for that is we want to increase the heats in areas that are troublesome, number one, and that added heat aids in the purge process. One of the cool things about the products that we offer is most of our purge compounds are moldable, so you can actually make parts with the products. Extrusion. Again, with chemical type purges, they're going to expand in low pressure environments. They work really, really well in twin screw applications. And it also cleans the areas on vented barrels close to the ports and vents. Options that hurt efficiency. A lot of people I see use regrind. Now, regrind is not designed to clean. Anytime we compare a purge compound, a commercial purge compound, to a regrind, we normally come out way ahead, on average of at least 80% or better. Other DIY options are largely ineffective and inconsistent. I can't tell you how many home remedies that I've seen over the years, but they typically just don't work. Auto purge settings. Yeah, those sabotage your savings. And there's really two reasons for that. One size doesn't fit all. Your auto purge settings are really not able to be modified to any degree. And auto purge really doesn't account for cost per purge. We're going to start getting into the 6 specific areas where we could be of help. They are, and I'm sure you're familiar with these. Color and material changes, contamination or black specks. If you're processing clear parts, those parts have to be absolutely perfect. We have a way to help you with that. Scrap and startup. Startup can mean shutdown as well. Hot runner die cleaning and screw pulls. We're going to get into all 6 of those. Now, this is just a basic diagram to kind of illustrate what happens. And we really don't care if you're running a commodity grade material or an engineering grade material. A lot of times, the majority of the time, the material is going to take the path of least resistance. And if you could take a look at the sides of your equipment, you'll get color buildup, you'll get material buildup, and you can even get contamination buildup. And if you're not cleaning your equipment effectively, what's going to happen is it's just going to constantly layer and become even more of a problem the longer you continue on that path. In the case of injection molding, we're typically talking about the troublesome areas are the flights, the barrel wall, the check ring in the nozzle. If you're talking about extrusion, it's not necessarily in the extruders. It's typically in the downstream equipment, like if you have static mixers, melt pumps, and naturally the die. Okay, this is an actual description of what we were able to do on one particular injection molding color change. If you could see, before we started running a white polypropylene, it was taking about an hour and 45 minutes. Machine running cost at $300 an hour. Machine downtime cost $525. If you go right down the list, it'll give you a really quick explanation on what they were doing previously to using our product and what happened after. Just in time alone, we were able to go from an hour and 45 minutes down to 30 minutes. We were able to reduce the machine downtime cost from $525 down to $150. The amount of purge material used was huge. They were using 350 pounds. We got it down to 80 pounds of our product. Cost saving was remarkable here. If you take a look and if you amortize that out, a lot of these color changes or material changes don't seem like big deals. Okay, Chris, it took me an hour. It took me an hour and a half. But when we reduce it, half or even a third, they add up. In this particular situation, we were able to save over $90,000 a year at 43%. So little improvements have a really, really big impact. Challenge number 2, black specks and gels. And again, this is an injection molding application, but the same thing holds true with extrusion. Now, obviously, we're just taking a look at the screw and barrel. And this particular situation is ABS running at 460 degrees Fahrenheit, where the heaters were shut off and ABS was left in the barrel. Now, consider this a shutdown. So obviously the heats don't go down to 0 or ambient temperature in a matter of minutes. It takes some time. You could see really quickly after an hour how this ABS begins to degrade. And after 5 hours, it's even worse. If you were to use a purge compound on shutdown, it effectively removes that ABS or whatever material that you're processing effectively, so it cannot degrade due to residence time. Your startups are virtually going to be spec free. As you can see, the OxiClean that's left in the barrel over the weekend will coat and protect your equipment from that happening. Challenge number 3, clear parts. As I had mentioned, if you're running a clear acrylic, clear polycarbonate, A lot of the purge compounds that are on the market today have various different carrier resins. One of the primary carrier resins that they have is a polyethylene. In some cases, it's a styrene, which is a little bit better. But if you're processing clear parts, you have to be able to effectively clean the machine. But when you fire it back up again or make your next transition, or you're going into a clear polycarbonate or a clear acrylic, you got to be able to displace the purge compound. It's no fun if you're able to clean the machine and it takes 2 hours to get the purge compound out. So this is one of the applications where our concentrate really comes into play. You can mix our concentrate with your clear material to effectively get the job done without any post-purge fogginess, milkiness, or hazing. You know, one of the things that I see quite frequently is we'll start out with a performance of a standard of performance when using our product. And we work very closely with you folks to ensure we get the best results with the least amount of product. Over periods of time, we know that people come, people go, and people will kind of take it on themselves to modify our procedures. It's no good. We really have to make sure that the procedures that we put forth in the beginning are maintained. And one of the things that you have in your corner when we're working with you is that we do our absolute best to work with your production members on the floor to ensure, again, they get the best results with the least amount of product and maintain our procedures. Scrap on startup. We basically touched on this a little while ago. But if you take a look, again, this is a natural ABS at 460 degrees. And you can see how quickly it will degrade over a period of time. Obviously, you've got nice ABS at the start, 15 minutes later, 30 minutes later, 60 minutes later, you can see what happens very, very quickly. So it's important to be able to displace that production material as soon as you can. Hot runner and die cleaning. Very, very difficult situations at times. Hot runners, as you know, can have multiple cavities. If you're using a hot runner or a hot manifold and it's got multiple drops, some of the drops can clean out much quicker and others not so much. With regards to die cleaning, pictured here is a basic sheet die. And as you can see, you know, any purge compound is going to take the path of least resistance and it's going to come out of the die and it's going to work out to the outer edges. Well, a mechanical purge can be used in some cases, but a chemical purge is much better in those types of applications. Again, hot runner and die cleaning. Mechanical purges can be effective. Chemical purges can be effective. It's every situation is unique. One size does not fit all in these types of applications. That's why working with your personal regional technical sales rep or myself, we'll nail it down to determine which grade would be the best. And obviously, we want to work with you to make sure that we're all on the same page and agreement. There are some cases where we'll provide no-cost material for you to test, excuse me, and we will try both and see which one is a better fit for you and your team, and also to make sure that we get the best results possible. Okay, this is basically a little schematic of an extrusion system. It's pretty rudimentary, but this is basically telling you that we're going to put the heat where the problem is. In an extrusion application, the extruders are really not the issue. I mean, they can be, but it's very rare that they are. So you can see that the extruders are in blue. Anything downstream of that, such as the screen, melt tube, static mixer, feed block, melt pump, and of course the die, that's where we're going to put the heat in those areas to ensure we get the best cleaning possible. Here again is a situation where we're using plus, which is the concentrate, in a hot runner color change. This is pretty dramatic. 13 and a half hours for their way versus 8.5 hours our way. You can see the machine downtime cost is $2,700 versus $1,700, savings of $1,000 right there. And if you take a look at the overall savings amortized out, in this particular application, we're saving over 50%. And at 144 changeovers per year per machine, man, that's $358,000 we just put back into your pocket. So little things, little changes make huge differences. Not to mention the additional machine time we're giving you back to make saleable product. Plus grade, the concentrate that we spoke of earlier. This is just one plant manager in one of the responses that we had to using it. It was just very, very easy, cleaned incredibly well, and a little goes a long way. As I had mentioned, we normally start out with 20% to 80% carrier resin. 20% is what we found to be the best starting point. And the good thing about this is it's adjustable. I've had injection molders use it as little as 10%, and I've had extrusion blow molders have to up it a little bit to 25 or 30%, but it does afford you a range much more so than a ready-mix product would be. Screw pulls. Everybody loves screw pulls. There's a much better way to do that, guys. I can't tell you, even in injection molding applications, I've seen some screw pulls on mid-sized machines take 12, 15, even 24 hours. If you're talking extrusion, my God, 6-inch screws that are 24 feet long, they could take several days. Well, we've got something that can help you with that. This is a little video that I'm going to show you. This is basically done. It's called a product that we offer that's called OxiClean EX. It's a heavily glass-filled material. This dramatization is actually done on a little small tabletop extruder. It's currently running black ABS. You can notice when you're trying to pull the screw, it's really hard, even on this little baby machine. And I'm sure the injection molders out there will attest that it's not normally a pretty easy thing to do. You know, the material is really cooked into the flights in the root of the screw and very sticky and very tacky. And again, this is ABS. Now this, what we're going to see is that same machine after being purged with OxiClean EX. The first thing you're going to notice is the extra date is nice and clean, meaning we got all that black ABS out of there. But this is the real magic, guys. The screw becomes very, very easy to pull out. And as you can see, the OxiClean Purge compound will peel off the flight and the roots of the screw in one ribbon like a banana. Your screw and barrel is going to look like it just came out of the box. This, I can't tell you how many screw pulls we save annually with this particular product. I've used this personally on equipment. I've used this personally on 6-inch screws that were 24 feet long, and we had the same type of results. And again, here is another example of changeover time where a screw pull took 12 hours. Guys, this is no joke. It was 25 minutes, from 12 hours to 25 minutes. Those are the kind of results that you can expect with using OssiClean EX. And again, one screw pull per month, amortize the savings, it's over $11,000 a year. If you're talking much larger scale, 30 injection molding machines, the numbers are huge, guys. The numbers are huge. Okay, let's talk about setting realistic expectations and how that happens. First of all, you're going to get an introduction of what we do and how we do it. We're going to diagnose the situation that you're having based on the years of experience that we've got in extrusion, injection molding. It's a pretty quick process, guys. And we're going to work with you to determine which is the best way to go. We're going to offer you a no-cost sample to test. We're going to develop a cost savings analysis that I'm going to get into a little bit later. We're going to help you with the trial. Whether it's verbally over the phone or a Teams call, you're going to have a representative work with your technicians or your maintenance guys before they actually put the product in the machine, so they're up and ready to go before they put one pallet into your equipment. And we're going to talk about possibly the introduction of a Purge program. What we do in this process is we consider the application that we're working on, obviously. We try to understand your machine count and what the sizes are. We're going to understand the product and quality issues, the temperatures and resins that you're processing, and we're going to choose a compatible purge. Quote by Pete Drucker: "You can't imagine what you don't measure." I can't tell you guys how many times I'm in plants and, I can talk to a production manager and I will ask them, well, how long is a dark to light color change coming, taking for you folks? And I'll get an answer. I'll ask a process engineer, same company, I'll get a different answer. I'll talk to a first shift supervisor, I get a different answer. So it's real important that we're all on the same page as far as what you do, how you do it, and the time and cost associated for what you currently do now. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to establish that baseline. We're going to figure out how many good parts you normally make, what's your scrap rate, how much material are you using now, what are your total costs, and understand your current results before you start a Purge program. We're going to analyze cost per purge versus cost per pound. We're going to make it consistent, and we're going to keep track of these results over time. Excuse me. In the very beginning, we're going to be able to establish that baseline of performance, and we want to make sure that we maintain that baseline of performance so it doesn't slip. This is one of the coolest tools that we have, guys, and all of you will have access to it. This is what we call a cost savings analysis. It's actually on our website, or we could provide it to you, and it's a live document. So basically, all you really need to do is just plug in the information on the left side of what you do and how you do things. And then we're going to compare that to what the OssiClean Purge compound can generate. And it's going to actually show you the savings as soon as you hit the enter button. Very, very good tool, and we use it quite consistently all the time. How to use the Purge compounds correctly. Again, just making sure that the standard of performance are always being met. There's always... And let me back up a step. People are always asking us for written procedures, which we're happy to provide to you folks. Um, but understand those purge procedures are written for the majority of situations. So it's not to say that we cannot improve upon them. Um, the object with any purge compound, working with your technical sales rep, is to find the sweet spot. As I mentioned, in worst case situations with a chemical purge, you might have to soak it for 20 to 30 minutes. But I've also seen in extreme situations like extrusion blow where a 5 or 10 minute soak cycle could work. So working with your technical sales rep, we'll fine tune these procedures and make sure they are used in the proper way and make sure we get the best results with the least amount of product and save the most amount of time possible. Again, procedures matter. And for all the reasons that I just explained. A couple of differentiators. We got really good products, guys. I to the best of my knowledge right now, I think we're up to 20 different products, mechanical and chemical purge compounds. So whatever the type of situations that you have, I'm extremely confident that we're going to have a product that'll fit your needs. We've got a team with an incredible amount of experience, over 200 plus years of injection and molding extrusion experience. And most importantly, our products are placed in warehouses throughout the United States and Canada, so you get just-in-time delivery. You're never going to see us run out of product. It just doesn't happen. We have extensive inventories in our warehouses. Transit time to any place in the country is typically 2 to 3 days. Again, really, really good products, consistency and performance. You get complimentary on-site trials, training, and support. And same-day shipment is available for just-in-time delivery. Quick summary. 200 years of combined plastic processing experience. We've got a grade that's going to suit your needs, guys. We're leading the industry in distribution and product availability, engineering expertise with the backing of a very, very large company, unparalleled customer support, dramatic cost savings, and just-in-time delivery. With that, guys, I'm done. I just want to thank you again for your time and see if you have any questions or comments that I might be able to help you with.
Thank you, Chris. Before we start our Q&A, I saw a couple questions come in about if you will be getting a copy of this presentation. And yes, you will be receiving an email from Prospector when this presentation is ready for you to download. So be on the lookout for that. Our first question is, what was the name of the grade in that screw pull video?
That is called OxyClean EX. E like Edward, X like X-ray.
Thank you. And the next question is, are purging compounds safe for hot runners?
Yes. In the case of our chemical type purge, any gate size is applicable for our chemical type purge compound. In its melted state, particle size is sub-micron. So even if you're making very, very small parts, chemical purge compound will get the job done. With regards to mechanical purges in hot runners or hot manifolds, you got to be a little bit careful, only because you got to pay attention to the gate size. If your gate size is 20 thousandths or above, mechanical purges are fine. And in the case of 20 thousandths or less, then we might have to direct you to a chemical type purge compound.
Thank you. The next question is, do you have any options for people in blown film extrusion?
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, the last 4 trips that I've been on the road have been in blown film plants. Chemical purge compounds are the best application for blown film applications. Um, Normally, what I see is if you're processing a linear low density, or any type of polyethylene, contamination is the issue mostly that I see. And chemical purge compounds have the best effect on removing that and prohibiting it from happening in the future. Um, Blown film manufacturers also do color changes and sometimes material changes, and the chemical purge compounds, such as an OxyClean N like Nancy, C like Charlie, R like Robert, NCR, are really good fits for those applications.
Thank you. The next question is someone available to help me build my own purging program? And if so, is there a cost associated with that?
First answer is yes. If it wouldn't be we have, I don't know, I think it's 8 or 9 people throughout our country, throughout the United States, that do what I do. So yeah, you would get your own regional technical sales rep to help you develop your own purge program. With regards to cost, it's absolutely free of charge.
Thank you. And what is the best applications for the concentrate grade?
Well, you could use concentrate in any application. We determine if concentrate is a good, and we talk about if concentrate is a good fit for you based on uh, what you're doing and how you're doing it. Let's say, for one example, if you're an extrusion blow molder and you're buying rail cars of polyethylene, well, you certainly don't need to buy a ready mix product that's got polyethylene in it from us. You're probably getting your polyethylene cheaper than we would, and a concentrate would be a better fit in your application because you could just mix it with your own production material.
Thank you. The next question is, can you soak a chemical purge compound for too long of a time? Also, can you soak a chemical purge compound for too short of a time?
First part of the question first. Too long of a time? Yes. The chemical activity in any chemical purge compound typically lasts 20 minutes. Once that fuel is spent, it's spent. Um, there's no sense in soaking for an extended period of time. Normally, when we soak, for example, the screw is turning at a minimum RPM to give the product a chance to work. Um, so after that 20 or 30-minute soak cycle on the high side, you're really not reaping any dividends after that. In some cases, especially if you're talking about contamination, you might have to do 2 purges, because I've seen contamination so bad that the first purge, the first soak cycle, will just move a ton of carbon out of there. But when you're purging that last of the purge compound out, there's still some residual contamination left in the extrude. So we would ask you to do a second purge to make sure we get it all out. The second part of the question, yeah, you really need to give the product a chance to work. Soaking the product or a chemical purge for a very short time, you probably won't reap the benefits that you could by increasing the soak cycle. And again, that soak cycle will be determined in almost the very beginning stages of what we're going to have to do after consulting with you.
Thank you. The next question is, how can we improve color change injecting ABS magnum material?
Well, if you're talking about doing a dark to a light or a dark to a clear, I don't know what you're currently doing now, whether if you're just running material or running a regrind or um, but though again, to get a better handle on how to answer your question, I'd need a little bit more details on what you're doing now and the time and cost associated with it. But a purge compound, 10 times out of 10 is going to be much more effective than running anything else.
Thank you. The next question is, can you please confirm if mechanical is the best way to clean a die?
If you're talking about an extrusion die, in the case of, let's say, if you're doing profile extrusion or tube extrusion, and utilizing a die that's not too complicated and straightforward, yeah, a mechanical purge compound can clean that very effectively. But if you're doing blown film, or if you're doing sheet or film, chances are a chemical purge is going to probably be a better fit.
Thank you. The next question is, how can I buy this product and where can I buy it on an ongoing basis?
If you go to houseclean.com, we'll connect you with a technical sales rep. All of our products are manufactured in the United States and by our sister company, AP&A. They're warehoused in Howell, Michigan. You can reach out to me directly. There's an 800 telephone number that's on the screen now. Either through the website or the 800 toll-free number, we'll be able to fix you up.
Thank you. How about purging out flame retardants? Do you have experience with that?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, right before this webinar, I was dealing with an injection molder that's molding ABS with a flame retardant. And as you can understand, you got two things going against you in that particular situation. ABS is a temperature sensitive material, and the flame retardant package is even more so. So we have products that can help you in those applications.
Thank you. The next question is, will OssiClean impact valve, gate, manifold operations?
It will not, but in the case of, it's going to help you clean it, that's for sure, but it does not impede any ability to mold in that situation. The cool thing about a valve gated tool is you could turn off and turn on gates as you wish. So if you have multiple gates and you're noticing that some of the drops are clean and some are not, you can actually shut off the gates that are clean and constantly run the purge compound through the open gates to clean those, saving you purge compound number one and saving you time.
Thank you. The next question is, what grade would be best to use going between 20% glass-filled nylon 6/6 to clear ABS?
Interesting. There's actually a couple. No, as a matter of fact, there's probably three. So what I would suggest to whomever's asking that question, please give us a call on the 800 number, and we could talk about that in more detail, because we'd have to understand it just a little bit more clearer on what you're currently seeing to make the correct product selection.
Thank you. The next question is, how many purge cycles are required in the case of NCR grade used to switch products like black ABS with a 3 to 4 months run to white ABS? This system has static mixers, melt pump, and a chrome plated die.
How many purge cycles? Can you just repeat the beginning of that question again?
Yes, absolutely. How many purged cycles are required?
Well, providing your machine is not heavily contaminated with excessive buildup of carbon. Normally, one purge process, which would probably take about 30 minutes or less, should get that accomplished. You'll be able to remove the nylon 6/6 effectively with one purge process and be able to drop down to a clear ABS. Now, obviously, you're running the nylon 6/6 at an elevated temperature. I don't know, 500, 550 degrees. Your ABS is probably run in the 400s or low 400s. So it's going to probably take you longer to drop the heats from nylon to ABS than the actual purge process would take.
Thank you. The next question is, would several purging compounds be needed if an extrusion line worked with many carriers? For example, PP, PE, PA, and PET, etc.
No, the majority of our purge compounds work within a temperature range. So, you know, I'm sorry, Carly, did they mention if this was extrusion or injection?
Yes, extrusion.
Okay, extrusion, I'm sorry. Um, our purge compounds work within a temperature range. So all the resins that you just mentioned would fall under one product. And you could use these product in this product. Well, there might be different choices that we have, but all of our products have temperature ranges. So one product can essentially get it all done with all the materials that you just mentioned.
Great, thank you. The next question is, any recommendation for a purge compound when switching products, i.e. ABS, black and white, to a clear acrylic?
Again, we could go with a mechanical type purge and we can go with a chemical type purge. But if depending on your situation, plus might be a very good option here because you're going into a clear acrylic. We do have styrenic based materials. So styrene clears out very, very easily as well. So I'd have to get a little bit more information on what you're doing and how you're doing it to make a better grade selection. And any one of the reps can help you with that here as well.
Thank you. The next question is there a minimum temperature for your purge compounds? How would you handle material changes that have a large operating temperature differential, for example, greater than 50 degrees Celsius?
The majority of our purge compounds are effective from 350 degrees up to 600 degrees for our basic type purge compounds, whether they be mechanical or chemical. So there could be a number of grades that would be effective in your particular application. And again, we just need a little bit more information. And forgive me, for having to default to this, guys, but I don't want to send you on a wild goose chase just going with saying, okay, our universal grade will be the best when there might be other grades that we offer that could be even better than that. So don't hesitate to give us a call and we can try again the best one that we feel as though will be the best fit. And maybe we send you two, maybe we send you three to try and we figure it out that way.
Thank you. And this is our last question. We are injecting AB pillars with very long nozzles, 85 centimeters, and the color change is from black to white. Today, we need around 200 shots for the color change. Would OxiClean help?
Definitely. And whether we go the mechanical route or the chemical route, or try both. But I'd stake my reputation on it that, yeah, we can have a significant impact on that application.
Thank you. And we'd like to thank everyone for attending today's webinar. Just as a reminder, we will be sending you a link to the recording so you can watch it anytime and share it with others at your company. We will also be following up to any questions we weren't able to get to today. Now, you will be redirected to OsaClean's website for more information. So thank you again for attending and have a great rest of your day. And thank you, Chris.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.